Hi, I'm State Senator Morris Hood. In Michigan and across our nation, we have a growing problem. The problem is that a culture is emerging at all levels in sports that is creating a hostile environment towards sports officials.
Sadly, the attacks haven't stopped, and the issue seems to have been forgotten at the state capitol. In this new video, an angry parent's rage spirals out of control. First, she's witnessed berating a referee at a youth league basketball game. Then she assaults the ref for disciplining her 16-year-old son.
Get that out of here!
Check out this cell phone video as another ref gets into an altercation on a high school basketball court in Hazel Park last winter. Watch as an angry mob chases him off the court.
I'm at Meese Park in Livonia, and I need the police here right away. We have somebody who just assaulted a referee.
Most horrifying of all was the sudden death of a Livonia soccer referee, sucker punched in the head by an adult player back in 2014, while attacker Basil Saad was sentenced to prison for the death of 44-year-old father and husband John Benowitz. There's been little progress passing a tougher law against those who assault referees.
My name's Kristen Benowitz. I'm from Westline, Michigan. And John Benowitz was the soccer referee who was killed, and he was my husband. You know, he left that morning, said goodbye, said I'll see you later, and never did I think later would be in heaven. He was attacked by another player and basically killed instantly. And everything from that day is vivid but yet a blur. And I've been left to try and raise two kids on my own since that day.
Towards the end of the fourth quarter, my partners and I had a simultaneous whistle, and she lost it. She went berserk. She started cussing. She just got irate, and I stopped the game, and I addressed the game administration, and I said she needs to leave. I said I can't have a parent in here being this belligerent, and I said we've let her sitting here long enough. The game is almost over. She can go sit out in the car and cool off. Well, it took a little bit of time to get her out of there, but when she finally decided to leave, they escorted her out. She found it upon herself to walk over to where I was and let me know that she would snatch my ponytail out. She told me I better get walked to my car.
Oh yes, many of times. I've been berated as I'm on the court and off the court. There have been times when I'm officiating and there are administrators there that aren't even doing anything to the spectators that are berating the officials and cussing and swearing at the officials. And it's happened to me where I'm left in the hallway with parents and fans and spectators berating me and wondering if I'm ever going to get protected through, you know, opening up the locker room door.
Another incident involved a coach who became so outraged at a call or a non-call, whatever it was at that particular time. He became hostile, began yelling, screaming, throwing a tantrum, essentially.
And especially at games, when they hear their parents doing that, they think, oh yeah, this is fine, it's fine, there's nothing wrong. No, it's not good to swear, it's not good to hit.
I think it's teaching them that if something doesn't go their way, they can whine about it and they can just yell and scream and, you know, throw tantrums until it does.
Parents and adults need to recognize that their actions have adverse consequences. Sports officiating is a job development opportunity. It gives children an opportunity to learn, to administer rules, to make snap decisions, to work in teams, to be on time.
I think it would put the sportsmanship back in it, first of all. I think what it ultimately comes down to is there's a lack of sportsmanship. I think it'll put the life skills back into what the premise behind participating in sports actually means. I think you might even get more officials to actually sign up if they see that there is something there to protect them.
We need to make people aware of their consequences on what happens if they berate or assault a sports official. Kind of like the law of a construction worker. When you're driving down the road and you see construction signs kill or hurt a construction worker, you're making them aware of what is going to happen if you don't pay attention.
If nothing was done, then the quality of youth sports would greatly decrease, because referees are in place to enforce the rules and keep people safe. Safety is our #1 priority. And if less referees are appearing because they're all afraid of being attacked, then no one's there to referee the game, which means the game can't happen.
This bill would definitely back us, it would support us, and it'll give people something to think about when they decide that they want to cross that line.
We're hopeful, again, similar to those other 20-plus states that have already enacted such legislation, that will serve as a deterrent for bad behavior. We need to ensure going forward that there is some consequence.
In honor of John Benowitz, in honor of the Benowitz family, this legislation is important because it lives the legacy of a man who passed on to his family, giving back to community. Not everybody can be a prime athlete, but a number of people can be a sport official. And John's passion in life was not to be the best referee in the world, not to be a World Cup soccer referee, but it was to work in his community, in his neighborhood, with families and with kids, because he believed that sport participation was important for youth in his community.
It would make me feel as though John's life wasn't lost for naught. That he, if he could be the reason that stricter laws are put in place, because it's been a problem for years, let's face it. It's not like it's something that has just begun over the course of the last few years or since John died.
I'm not only concerned about my dad's safety, but I'm concerned about the safety of all referees, and something's got to be done about it.
And that's where you come in. Now that this legislation is introduced, we need you to encourage your legislator to have this bill taken up for a vote and passed into law. We must pass this legislation to give our sports officials the protection and support that they deserve. Our legislation will raise the bar on the penalties associated with assaulting and battering sports officials, and will put spectators and athletes on notice that it is not all right to express hostilities towards them. If we can make people stop before expressing themselves through hostilities towards sports officials, or even save one life because of this legislation, we will have done our job. Let's make sports what they are intended to be, a sport, not a venue for people to take their hostilities, bad days, and frustrations out on an undeserving person. Help us stop these aggressive acts and keep these sports officials from getting harmed. Please click on the link below to contact your state legislator. The lives of our sports officials, their families, and our communities depend on it.